A special blood delivery service provided by volunteer motorcyclists in the region is being extended to hospitals across the North East. The blood bikers provide an out-of-hours service for the NHS, which means the hospitals don't have to spend money on taxis or courier companies to deliver the blood. The charity Northumbria Blood Bikes delivers to hospitals in Wansbeck, Gateshead and South Shields, and it's now added Darlington Memorial Hospital to its service. And they're recruiting more members to add to the team. Earlier, blood biker Alan Ross called in to see us here at BBC Newcastle. And here's the bike coming in now. It's bright yellow with red squares on it, obviously kitted out with all sorts of specialist kit. And on board is Alan Ross. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
So tell me what special features there are on this bike compared to an ordinary bike.
Well, obviously there's the lights, which we're permitted to use in an emergency.
These are the blue lights?
It is, yes. We don't carry sirens, not allowed to use sirens. And the blue lights are only with the permission of an authorised clinician, so it has to be an urgent call. We don't dictate when we use them. And on the back of the bike we have a large stainless steel rack, which is capable of holding 2 blood boxes, capable of several batches in one go. If we find we have a call for a larger quantity of blood, we either send a second bike or make 2 trips.
You're obviously an experienced biker. Right. Did you need any special training for these particular deliveries?
Yes, indeed. We have a couple of sets of training that we do. The first one is for the NHS for the handling of the blood products themselves. Common sense to a certain extent, but we have to make sure that all of the riders who ride for us are aware of the precautions that have to be taken. At the end of the day, this blood is going to be used hopefully to save somebody's life, so it has to be treated accordingly and properly. So we have quite a bit of training for the NHS. We also have blue light training, which is classroom-based, to advise people on the sensible use of lights in an emergency. So
you're all volunteers, you're on call during the night. Why do you do this?
I enjoy it. It's a combination of a hobby. I enjoy motorcycling, and you get to try some lovely vehicles. Obviously, you'll appreciate these aren't the smallest of bikes, so it's enjoyable in that respect as well. But also, I used to give blood. I can't now because of a medical condition, so I thought, well, I can take it instead. And it's a warm feeling when you know that you're doing something good for charity.
So you've got 80 members now. You're just expanding further down towards Darlington. How easy is it to recruit the right calibre of bike rider?
Well, I was very much surprised. I was one of the people who very much doubted that we would get the good quality of rider. I thought people would have alternative motives. They would want to ride around on a flashy bike more than they would want to do anything else. Having said that, I've been pleasantly surprised. I'd say every single member that we've had so far has had their heart in the right place and has the right level of commitment and the right level of common sense, to be honest, to be able to carry out the job properly.
It did cross my mind. This is the ultimate boy's toy. It's a massive motorbike. And I can feel heat radiating off it now just from where you've parked up. You get to use the blue lights and, got all the kit on and everything. So how do you weed out the show-offs?
They tend to show themselves without any problem. Luckily, we haven't really had any to deal with so far, but we also have tracking devices fitted to the bike which tell us how the rider is behaving. Every time the lights are used, there's a text message sent and it's reported and logged, and likewise for the speed limits and things like that. So we can keep an eye generally anyway. Also, it's one of the most highly recognisable bikes in the north of England, and it wouldn't take long for somebody to make a phone call through if there was any problems with the behaviour of one of the riders. Luckily, as I say, the police know who we are. They don't have any bikes themselves other than in Durham, so we're usually fairly quickly identified if there's an issue. Fortunately, there hasn't been one yet, though. So
you get to the hospital with your precious package. What do you do? Leave it on reception and run? I mean, you must wonder what's happening to it after that.
We never get to find out. How we handle the blood packages depends on what time of day that we deliver. On a weekend, it's a different process because most of the hospitals are open. Nighttime, it's a skeleton staff, and we tend to simply use an intercom through to the path labs, and there's always somebody there. You'll appreciate when blood's being called for, there's somebody at the receiving end who's desperately in need of it anyway, so we never leave the package unattended. We always make sure it goes to its recipient before we move on.
And what are you doing to recruit new riders now that you're expanding your service?
Well, we have an open session in Newcastle at the moment. You'll appreciate we always have publicity events wherever we can, but this Thursday, we have an open evening at Northumbria University in the Ellison building, the Rutherford room. And that's an opportunity for anybody who is interested to come along and see what it is that we do and the service that we provide, see if they want to find out a bit more about joining us.
OK, I better let you get this really, really important machine back on the road then. Nice to talk to you, Alan. Thanks for coming to BBC Newcastle.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And that's Alan Ross from the charity Northumbria Blood Bikes, and you can find out more about them on their website, northumbriabloodbikes.org.uk.
Nice throaty roar to that motorbike there, wasn't it? What was it? Because you're a bit of a biker fan, aren't you?
It was yellow. It was massive. Standing beside it in our car park here, you could feel the heat radiating off it just from when it had driven in.
A yellow motorbike, there you go.
I don't know what it was.
Yes. Now then, coming up in a few minutes.